So we've just heard about the Necron Destroyer cult, and this is exciting. It's coming right up.
Necrons!
Nick speaking, and welcome to this video. And if you're new to the channel and you want to learn about Necrons and more, then please subscribe and hit the bell button to turn on all notifications so you don't miss an upload. Right, I was in the middle of painting my Necrons when this post from the Warhammer Community website came up. Now, I haven't read this post yet, so I'm going to read it live here on the camera. Warhammer 40k Indomitus introduced a number of brand new units for Necrons, two of which belonged to the Destroyer cult, the Skorpekh Lord and Skorpekh Destroyers. With more destroyers on their way soon with the new codex, we thought it was the perfect time to investigate more about the nature of the Destroyer cult and why some Necrons fear it to be a curse that will ultimately doom them all. Oh, go on then, we'll show you some new rules too. Awesome. And here is a very cool picture of our destroyers from the Indomitus box set, and something rather familiar in the background which looks like the new Lokhust Destroyer. Rise of the Destroyer cult. The Necrons of the Destroyer cult are hate-fueled harvesters of the living, obsessed with the eradication of all sentient beings. The murderous insanity of the Destroyers drives their every thought. They task the cryptics with modifying their bodies to turn themselves into optimized killing machines, which does explain why they have no hands and the weapons are just attached to their bodies. Quite what's first caused some Necrons to show the defining degradation of psyche upon reawakening from their slumber, none can truly say. However, considering that Destroyer cults have emerged on seemingly every tomb world, it appears to be a common flaw, and disturbingly so. Worse still, its touch is spreading faster through Necron society than even before. Worse still, its touch is spreading faster through Necron society than ever before, and some who never previously showed any signs are now succumbing to affliction. Then we have another cool picture of a Skorpekh Destroyer fighting it out with an orc. I'm really loving the new artwork for Necrons, it looks super cool. Destroyers stand apart from the Necron phalanxes, who are so unquestionably obedient to the Necron nobility, for their madness is such that they answer to no one. On the battlefield, Destroyers are utilised as brutal shock troops, not so much commanded by the noble in charge as unleashed upon their prey. Yet even this act is not done so lightly, for once all their organic victims lie slain, who then will the Destroyers turn their insatiable murder lust upon? Okay, so we're really getting a feel for how much these Destroyers are just killing machines. I mean, that fluff just sounds really nasty, so hopefully the rules that we're going to see would also be really nasty. Destroyer sub-cults. More awesome pictures of the new Skorpekh Destroyers, and in the new codex the Destroyer cult has branched out into 4 distinct types. The blade-wielding Skorpeks, the subterranean segmented Obsidians, the gunfighting Hexmarks, and the floating weapons platforms that are the Lokhust. As you'd expect from a mass murder machine, each form of the Destroyer is brutally effective in its chosen form of death dealing, though they also share a common ability that gives them an additional edge when making attacks. So basically we've got 4 types of destroyers. We've got long range shooting, close range shooting, we've got an assault unit, and I suppose you could say a distraction unit with the new Wraith Destroyers, as I call them. And some rules, which I think we already know this, but all 4 of these destroyer types get it. Hardwired for destruction. Each time a model in this unit makes an attack, re-roll a hit roll of a 1. Very, very useful. What's more, the damage output of the destroyer unit is even more consistent when in range of their alphas, the fallen nobles that are Scorpic Lords and Lokhust Lords. Suggesting Lokhust Lords. Thanks to the United in Destruction aura ability. So Lokhust Lords. Are we going to get even more HQs? Surely not. Anyway, United in Destruction, an aura ability, while a friendly Dynasty Destroyer Cult unit is within 6 inches of this model each time a model in that unit makes an attack, re-roll a wound roll of a 1. Well, we sort of know these rules anyway, so basically if you've got the dedicated Lord with the unit, you can re-roll 1s to hit and to wound. Very nice indeed. But what else are we going to get? Let's read on. If you picked up a copy of Indomitors, yes I did, 2 copies, I'm trying to paint them now, or the Elite or Command Edition starter sets, you'll no doubt be very familiar with the devastating killing power of the Scorpic Destroyers. And if you saw the mega preview, the Codex show, you'll also have seen the datasheet for the Obsidian Destroyers. But you've yet to see the grievously powerful weaponry with which the souped-up Lokhust Destroyers will be decimating its hapless prey. And then we've got another very cool picture of the new Lokhust Heavy Destroyers. That looks super cool and that weapon looks super awesome. So let's find out the rules. Well, here you go. These things kick out some serious firepower. Serious. Okay, so Enmitic Exterminator, a range of 36 inches, a heavy 3d3, so it's between 3 and 9 shots, but it's still random, but that's still a good amount of shots, certainly better than what we're getting at the moment with the heavy destroyers. Strength 7 though, but -1 and 1 damage. Okay, and then we've got a Gauss Destructor, which is a range of 36 inches. Heavy 1, so 1 shot. Strength 10, -4 AP, and 3d3 damage. Okay, so basically you've got the Gauss Destructor, which seems to be the replacement for the heavy Gauss Cannon, so 36 inches the same, 1 shot and heavy the same, strength 10 as opposed to strength 9, -4 AP, but this time it does 3d3 damage, so a minimum of 3 damage and potentially 9 damage, which I think is probably, well, obviously previously we had a d6 damage, so we've got more chances of doing some damage, and at the very worst we're going to do 3 damage. And also it is a blast weapon, so that could be quite useful. The other gun is quite interesting, so still a heavy gun, and 3d3 shots, so like I said you're looking between 1 and 9 shots. Slightly lower strength though, strength 7 and just -1 AP, and then a small amount of damage. So quite interesting guns there. I suppose it depends how we can take these, because we don't know whether they're going to be mixed units or you have to have the same gun in each, or whether or not you can just take one gun and the others are just the standard gun, so like an upgrade. So we don't know all of the rules yet, and we don't know obviously the rest of the rules in the Codex. I mean, are we going to need those strength 10 guns, or will the Doomsday arcs be better at that? So we don't know the full picture as such, but it's quite interesting to see those stats, and they've taken away that d6 for 3d3, which I think overall is definitely better. But there is more. Destroyers in Crusade. The faction-specific Crusade rules in the upcoming edition of Codex Necrons, which I'm not going to be playing because I don't play Crusade, to be fair, but some Necrons include some fantastic examples of the impact that the Destroyer cult is having on the dynasties. It's even possible for a Necron Lord or Overlord to permanently succumb to the Destroyer curse with this unique requisition. Well, I think we've seen this before, haven't we? This is where basically your lord or your overlord can be changed into a destroyer cult character. So basically one of the destroyer characters like the Skorpek Lord. And then we get more Crusade stuff. So another wonderfully thematic addition is the Mindless Reaper Battle Scar, which sees a destroyer cult unit descend even further into the ultraviolet psychosis, which is both a blessing and a curse. Crusade Battle Scar Mindless Reaper. When a model in this unit makes an attack, you can re-roll the hit roll. In your shooting phase, each time this unit is selected to shoot, models in that unit can only target the closest eligible enemy unit. In your charge phase, each time this unit declares a charge, you can only select the closest enemy unit, excluding aircraft, as the target of the charge. We'll be looking into the Necron factions more over the coming weeks as we draw nearer to the launch of the new codex, which we know is in October, but we don't know exactly when the pre-order will happen in October, beginning, middle or end. Come on, Games Workshop, let us know. Check in with us regularly on the Warhammer Community, blah blah blah, which of course we do every day, and as soon as there's another post on Necrons, I'll be making another video. However, back to this post, and to be fair, we didn't really get that much because half of the rules were for Crusade, and as I said, personally I don't have any interest in Crusade. I'm more into the match play, and all we really got for match play was the 2-gun rules and the mention of potentially a new Lokhust Lord, which is very interesting. Is there more unseen Necrons still to come? I tell you what, I'm incredibly excited about this new Necron Codex. I hope you are too, and if you want to see my other 9th edition Necron videos, then check out the playlist just there. Until then, beam me up.